We've been talking about benchmarking your school's energy performance in Energy Star's Portfolio Manager. And we're on step 3, inputting data and getting a score. This step has actually 4 parts to it. The first part is registering for a Portfolio Manager account, which we covered in a previous video. This video has to do with setting up your school facility in Portfolio Manager. The next video will look at inputting data into Portfolio Manager account and later updating space attributes. It's a fairly simple process. You're going to go to EnergyStar.gov, log in to Portfolio Manager, add a property, add a space, and add meters. Once your school facility is set up, you will be ready to add the data that you have collected. So let's go to EnergyStar.gov and see what that looks like. Here we are at Energy Star's home page. And we're going to click on Buildings and Plants. Now we're on the Buildings and Plants page. Then we're going to scroll down, find the Portfolio Manager login, click on that. Now we're at the login page, and we enter our username and our password. Then we click on Login. Here we are at our My Portfolio page. Now when you first get your Portfolio Manager page, it's essentially blank, except when you scroll down, you see there is a sample facility. Now that sample facility is of an office space, and we want to put a school space in there, so that's what we're going to work on today. You scroll back up and you see where it says add a property. That's what we're going to do. We're going to click on add, and it's going to take us to the add a property screen. So it's going to ask us some questions. What kind of property would you like to add? Most of the time you're going to click number 1. A single facility for which my organization owns or manages 90% or more of the floor area. And a K through 12 school is a typical example. So we're going to click on that button and then come down here and click continue. Now there's some other information they want to know about the facility. Now we already clicked on the single facility. Is this facility owned, operated, or leased by the federal government? In most cases, it'll be no, so you will put no in there. Now they want you to put some information about your facility. I'm going to enter our facility name, Greenway School, and the address. Now when we get to the zip code, I just wanted to mention that's a very important part of this form, because the weather normalization that has to occur for you to be able to compare your school with other schools in the nation is based on this zip code that you put in this block right here. Okay, now let's scroll down a little bit more. They want to know the organization that owns this facility. Chances are you have not entered any organizations, so you're going to have to do that now. So you go over to the link where it says add or edit contacts and organizations. I'm going to add a new organization. Now I've entered in all the information that they're needing in add organization, and I'm going to save it. Okay, so there's one piece of information I forgot to put in there. So let's click OK and find out, is this organization an Energy Star partner? Yes, no, don't know. So I'm going to click no. So now let's try again to save. Okay, so now we have it in there and we can click done. So let's scroll back down where we were. Select the organization that owns this facility. We click on the drop down arrow, find our organization, which I put in Greenville School District. Is there an energy efficiency service and product provider assisting with benchmarking this building? Okay, in this case there is not, so we will click the drop down box and click on none. Now if there's any other information you'd like to include, you can put it in this box. In most cases, these two fields will not apply to you. So let's click on Save. Now it's going to give you the option to select your electric distribution utility. And you see here I have selected Progress Energy Florida. That's the one that serves this school. So I am going to go save that information. And now we're back at Greenway School page. What we just did is we set up a special page for Greenway School. Now when you scroll down, what we're going to do right now is add a space. So we scroll our cursor right on the link that says add space. Now it's going to ask you to enter a name for this space. So we're just going to call it K-12 school. But we also have to pick one of the designated space types that's eligible for a score. And it turns out, of course, that the K-12 school is one of the eligible space types. So we have to click on that. Now we have to enter the effective date for this space. Right now, we're showing that the effective date is January 2000, which is the original construction date. So that's probably going to be the date that shows up in there if you entered that field previously. But you don't have to have that date. If you want to put a date such as the date you're starting to use Portfolio Manager, then you could put that date. Now we're taken to a screen where we enter in the space attributes. So we're going to scroll down and we see that there are 8 space attributes. Now we're not going to enter the space attributes at this time. We're going to do that in the next video. For right now, we're just going to put in a number, sort of a placeholder for the square footage, and we're going to click on the default values, and then we're going to scroll down and click on Save. So we're back at our Greenway School page. We scroll down and we see we have one K-12 school space that's called K-12 school. And it gives us a bunch of alerts, mainly because we're using default. So we know when we go back and enter the actual data, these alerts will disappear. Now the next thing we're going to do is set up the energy meters. So we go over here and we're going to add a meter, and it's going to take us to another information screen. So let's scroll down. Okay, so what should we put for the meter name? Some people put things like main school meter or north meter if it's on the north side of the school, if they have a lot of schools. Some people even might want to put the meter number. The problem is utility companies sometimes change out meters and you get a different meter number. So what I would recommend is that you put something that has at least all or part of the account number that shows up on your bill. So we're going to do a combination. We're going to call this our main meter, and we're going to put part of the account number. All right, so that's going to be the name of our electric meter. It's going to apply to the entire facility, and we're going to select the meter type now. Here are all the fuel types that could have some type of meter associated to it. In this case, we're going to select electricity, and the generation method we're going to leave as a grid purchase. But you can see that there's other options. If you have an on-site solar or on-site wind, then you could choose those. Those are pretty rare cases even today. Now we're going to select the units. The unit that we're going to select is kWh, kilowatt hours. Now it's asking us, do we want to add this meter to the total facility energy use? And it's already checked yes, and we're going to leave that. Is this meter currently active? Yes. Now the last section is temporary energy data. Are temporary values being used for energy data? Now here's a good example of the type of tutorials that are available in Portfolio Manager. What is temporary energy data? So it has a little link here you can click on and it explains what it is, temporary energy data. Now I'm not going to read the whole thing, you can read it if you'd like to, but chances are temporary data is not going to apply to your situation. So we're going to leave it clicked as no. Now we're ready to save our energy meter. Now we're taken to a screen that lets us add in the utility use information or the energy use information from our energy bill or from our meter reader log. But we're not going to do that at this time for this video. That's going to be in our next video. So right now we're just going to click on Do Not Add Meter Entries. Now we get taken back to our Greenway School page. We scroll down, we see we have the space identified and we have 1 meter. Let's look at what else is on this page. We can actually put water meters into our Portfolio Manager account. It doesn't count toward our Energy Star score, but it helps us manage some of the other resources that we have that are devoted to this school. We can also add green power purchases. We're not going to talk about that at this time. So this pretty much completes setting up your school in Portfolio Manager. Now that your school is set up in Portfolio Manager, you are ready to enter the data you have collected and get your Energy Star score. This concludes our presentation on setting up your school in Portfolio Manager.